Okay, guys, welcome to Friday, the last day before spring break. Today, I thought we'd change it up a little bit, and we're going to try a little algebra. We'll keep it pretty basic, so nothing to worry about there, and then we'll throw one crazy one at you at the end just for fun. Um, but algebra is just it's a system in math where letters that we call variables are used to represent different quantities or valuables. And some of you, we've done a little bit of algebra in class. Um, some different times where we've seen that pop up. But basically what it's saying is you would take an equation like this, 4 plus 5 equals 9, and rewrite it as 4 plus x equals 9. Now we can figure out what x is, and then like in this case, all we did was replace it, so here x equals 5. So often our answer to algebraic problems will be like some variable equals some number. So in this case, x equals 5. Okay, so right here we have our first one. 5 plus x equals 10. And I suspect that a lot of you can figure this out in your head, and that's fine. The way to go about solving this, though, is to think, okay, so 5 plus something equals 10. Okay, my suggestion would be to turn around and do, so 10 minus 5 equals 5, which is actually going to be our something. So by taking your answer, what you want, and subtracting what we have, so we're looking to add 5 plus something equals 10, so we're going to turn around and subtract 10 minus 5 to figure out what that missing piece is. And we find out that it's 5. So our answer would be x equals 5 for this one. So really, if you see if you see an operation in an algebra problem, like for example, adding, to solve, you're probably going to turn around and subtract, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about, but it's just doing the opposite to find that missing piece. Here's another example. Okay, so this time you notice that the 2 and the x are written right beside each other with nothing in between. That is a telltale sign that we are multiplying. Okay, if something is written right next to something else with no space and no sign in between, we multiply. Okay, so this one is telling us that 2 times something equals 18. And again, if you know this one in your head, great. But the way that we're going to solve this is we're going to take our answer, 18, and divide the opposite of multiplication by 2 to figure out what our answer is going to be. Well, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So here, x equals 9. And it's really good to always go back and plug in the answer we got for the variable. So if you think about 2 times 9, does that equal 18? Is that a true statement? And yes, it is. Okay, so we're good with that. Okay, so now this one is a little different because we're going to actually have 2 different operations in this. Right here, we have multiplication, and then we have adding. All right, so the first thing, you're going to have to do this in 2 steps. So to solve, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take care of the addition. So we'll take 15, so this is step 1. 15 minus 5 equals 10. Okay, and if you want to think about it, I'm going to show you how, as you progress, you'll learn to write this. Okay, so because we have addition sign, we're going to go and subtract 5 from here. And we're going to subtract 5 from this side. So we're not subtracting 5 twice because this plus minus, they're going to cancel each other out. So like you think about a number line, we're at positive 5. We're going down 5, that'll get us to 0. So these just cross out. And we're left with 2x equals 15 minus 5, which is 10. Okay. Now our second step, so now we have 2x, 2 times x equals 10. Now we're going to say, okay, hey, I'm going to take 10, divide it by 2, and that will equal x, which in this case, so if you watch like doing it up here, 2 divided by 2, those cancel, divide by 2. Now you'll notice this looks like a fraction, which it does, because a fraction is just a multiplication problem. If you would simplify 10 over 2, you're going to get 5 wholes, or just 5. So down here we also get 5. So for us, x equals 5. Okay, now let's go back and plug this in. Okay, so we have 2 times 5 in place of x plus 5, and that should equal 15. Okay, well, we know that 2 times 5 gives us 10, and then when you add 10 plus 5, we get back to 15. So this one checks out. We're good there. Alright, so that was a crash course in algebra. What I want you to do is pause the video here and try to solve this one on your own, and then we will walk through it together. So when you're ready, unpause the video and we'll keep going. Okay, so for this one, we have, very similar to the last one, we have 4x, which is multiply, and then we have a subtraction sign, so a minus 3. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take care of this subtraction. So now, because we have a subtract in the problem, we're going to add 3. So it's like we're trying to get back to 0. If we're at 3 below 0, negative 3, we can add 3 more and we'll get back to 0. We do that over here, we have to do that over here, add 3. Okay, so these two are going to cancel out. We're left with 4x equals 16. Okay, so now we have this 4 times x. So now we're going to divide everything by 4. So 4x divided by 4 and 16 divided by 4. I just make this line all the way across here so I don't have to draw 2 lines. It's not some fancy math thing. Okay, so the two 4's are going to cancel. That leaves us with just x over here, which is good. That's what we want. And then over here we have 16 over 4. So when you simplify 16 fourths, or 16 over 4, we find that x is equal to 4. Okay, so now we need to go back and plug this in. So 4 times 4, instead of x this time, minus 3 equals 13. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 minus 3, we got it. That equals 13. Okay, so hopefully you came up with that. Now, if that one was pretty simple, here's what you do. Okay, I have a challenge for you. Now, I'm going to warn you, it's going to be tough. Okay, and by no means are you obligated to do the next one, but I certainly hope that some of you will try it. And when you comment your answers, you can comment the first one that we did, and then go ahead and put the challenge answer if you come up with that one too. But here it is. Okay, so I threw a fraction in there, and I threw a couple different operations. I threw a lot at you, all right? So what you have is 1/2 x plus 12, in parentheses, plus 4x equals 39. So see if you can come up with your value for x and comment that on this post with your answer to the other one. Even though we did it together, go ahead and comment your answer anyways, or let me know if you got it right. All right, I'll see you guys next week, because this is our last lesson before spring break. So enjoy your time off. Make sure you go outside and don't drive your parents too crazy.